But yeah, talk about the doctor
Yeah.
example.
Okay, so when I was pregnant with our son, one of our doctor's appointments that we went to, I don't even know if it was the doctor or the nurse. It wasn't the doctor because we had a fantastic doctor. So it was like the nurse or even, sorry about that, guys.
Yeah,
Technical
sorry.
difficulties. But all I was in the middle of saying was that, so I was pregnant. We were at the doctor's office, and it wasn't even the doctor who came to us and was like, "You need to have this test." Now, at that time, I think I was like 5 months pregnant, so the hormones are like definitely all over the place, and this isn't what was said, but this is how I felt. Like, if you don't get this test, like something's gonna be wrong with your baby.
And we're like, so obviously, like, you are the man who is not carrying the pregnancy. So how dare you say anything? And then this person who is not in your family is there saying something, and we basically got suckered into something. We were like, so when we came out, just like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Why did
So
that happen?
it actually, so we went through with the test. I was basically about to cry in the waiting room of the office, and again, it wasn't even the doctor who was like really communicating this with us. So like we went home, and it wasn't immediately. It was like maybe a day or two later. Once things had really calmed down, then we sat down and we like.
And we said, here's the rule from now, forever, henceforth,
Yes.
until death do us part. Ain't nobody ever making us make no financial decisions
when we're in a heightened emotional state. So the strategy then, applying that to a medical setting, which is what the example was, is going forward, if something like that were to happen again, it's like, okay, please let me speak to the doctor. Doctor, please explain the ramifications of if I have the test and if I don't have the test.
Or whatever the decision is.
Whatever the decision is. And
then, it's not life. See, it's one thing if it's something that's life threatening. This is one of those optional things that you can do just to be sure. Just like so it's things like that, right? So that's because we're running low on time.
Yeah.
We have about 10 minutes left. We do need to let people ask us questions.
Yeah. But I think there's one thing that we haven't talked about that when I was looking through those, I think might be interesting for people, especially people who aren't married or trying to get into a relationship. So I'll ask you guys, how did you guys get the discussion going on finance?
That's actually really good.
The awkward parts, how did you navigate that? Because I think people will be asking that, like, how did you start the discussion? Is it just like you're on a date and you're like, how much money do you earn? Like, how do you get to that point?
So I'll let you chime in that, but I want to preface it by saying what I written before. So excuse me 1 second while I just look at my notes. As I mentioned earlier, I never talked about finances when I was in a dating relationship. But what I did do is I observed how the person that I was dating was with money in specific areas. Are they a willing participant in sharing in bills? Or when you want to date, is it completely one-sided? Do they show that they have a generous heart when it comes to taking care of their loved ones? If it's like, oh, mom needs something, are they moaning and complaining about it? Are they like, oh yeah, mom, like, no worries, like, we'll figure this out? Are they kind, and do they tip wait staff respectfully? Because if somebody has been waiting on you for a while and then you just give them $1 or 10 naira, I'm so sorry. So then maybe they'd be happy with $1. I don't know.
And $1 is 500 naira.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So depending on where you are, sorry, but what does that? How does that respect?
So it's about how are you kind to people? Like if you're someone who's barking orders at people, so I think there are red flags that let you know if the person is gonna be in your life. I have dating in Lagos is a rough game, and y'all know about my stories up in this Lagos. We won't go into them now, or maybe ever, but or ever. But there's some red flags. You don't even have to bother coming up with a conversation until after someone has shown you some of these things. So let's say there are no red flags. And you're like, oh, this is looking serious. Then
which it was for us.
Yeah. Then you just have to talk about it. Now, I was not the one who brought it up. Because I was gonna be like, I got you. Exactly. But the goal is like, let's talk about your finances. What debts do you have?
Did you use any tools? Did you use any?
Nope, she just spat it out. She just spat it right out. And I was taken well aback. I was like, sorry, who are you? Why are you up in my business? But I was like, this is So that was my first reaction. I didn't say it, but I thought I was just like, sorry, what the hell? What do you think you can actually? I was like, I guess if she's asking, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
But she sees this as going
Exactly.
somewhere. So I calmed down. I was like, okay, and then I did, and I think I even wrote about it in Money Brain. I was like, I opened the Kimono. I was like, here's the money I have in the bank. Here's the debt I have from school. Here's this. Here's that. Here's that. Here's where things are. And she's like, here's where I am. And then, but the thing is, we did that just the once. But then, as life kept happening, that's how we weren't doing that same. So now we have a monthly check-in. It's scheduled.
Yeah.
Every month we come and we talk. What are we doing? Even like so, you have your expenses and you have investments. Like where's the money that we're keeping that we're hoping that will be savings or what? So all of that stuff. And then do we have the logins for those things? Because if anything happens, you got to be able to like take care of the business.
Yeah.
How about you guys? I
Yeah.
want to check on if there are any questions from the audience. I see some coming in.
Oh, great.
Okay. I think for us, I can't remember when we had the conversation. I know it was definitely at the point when we both decided that okay, this is now. I want more than you just be my girlfriend out of this, right? I can't remember who brought up the conversation. Very likely to be me.
Yeah, I think it was.
Very likely to be me in this situation, right? Because as much as possible, I wanted to be very clear on. I wanted to basically share because I wanted that level of transparency in our relationship, right? And of course, I wanted to share, so I wanted to know that you're willing to share. So that was also a sign of some sort, right? Like so,
For sure.
if I try to share and I want to know you're willing to share, like, oh no, come on, no,
Maybe splitting the bill on things.
No, just
No,
sharing.
sharing.
just share information around
Okay.
financial status, where we are, what we are, savings, investment, debts, and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, it was, for the most part, it was, I remember you were willing to share for the most of it, but just like an onion bowl, right? Just get
Exactly.
peel. It took a while. It took a while to finish peeling that onion, but yes,
Was that peeling happening while you guys were in the process of dating to become engaged and become married, or the constant peeling happened once you were already married?
No. And before we got married,
Okay.
everything happened before. So
Okay.
we were, yeah, before we got married, before we had the onion was done, and we were very good. We had the understanding. So yes, from the point when we put everything out there, it became a lot easier.
Oh, nice.
Right?
You guys did
It
that.
became a lot easier.
So people are asking you guys.
Oh,
Question from the audience. Yeah,
Oh,
both of
okay.
you. Question from the audience. How do you decide what goes into the joint account and how frequently do you deposit into that account?
Yeah, come on.
Okay. I think we have 95s. People at the moment who have 95s, right? So right now we have defined a portion, an amount, not a percentage, from our 95 that go into every month, right?
Into
And
the
for-
joint or
into the joint account, right? Then every other form of income that doesn't come from our 95 goes into the joint account.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then final question. How does that? So the decision. I guess we probably should answer that. But how does that work? So you guys have an Excel sheet. So even though you're tracking with Reach, you still have an Excel sheet because
Yes.
there are many things that you still need to keep track of.
Yes.
So whoever is asking that question, that's actually what we do. We still have. So think of Reach helps us know how much has been spent, but in terms of like, okay, that amount has now been deducted, and what is left in the pool, what grew, what went down, all that stuff. We have a family sheet that we share, and then everyone puts their stuff into every month.
Yeah.
And then the way we do it is we have each other's pins. So there isn't necessarily a joint account, but what we've done is all the bank cards and stuff are in the same place. So when you're going out or when you need to get any money,
Yeah.
You just pick one.
you pick one and you do what you have to do because all of it funnels back into Reach or the Excel file.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to wrap us up. What are the final thing is if you
I think one or two last questions just popped in.
no, I think we have to wrap up, guys.
Okay. So sorry.
So yeah, key takeaways. We got to do key takeaways. So sorry. So if you knew then what you know now, what would you do differently?
If I knew then what I know now. I think for me, I probably wouldn't have been as worried. Maybe I think we're not extremes, right? We're very very like open. We're not super spenders, and we're also not super savers. I think maybe when I came into the marriage, I was like, "Is this guy going to be overspending? Am I going to be, yeah, like how's this going to work?" But I think I actually would have been more relaxed. Now, if I knew his money habits more before, I probably have been more relaxed. I thought, he's not extreme in any way, and then neither am I, so we're actually good.
Did you guys do the faces test already? What are your spending personalities?
I don't recall.
I think you are familiarity, which is
Yeah.
super even keeled.
Yeah.
You are social proof.
I can't remember.
I don't
I can't
remember.
remember.
All right.
I know I'm familiar.
Yeah.
But yeah, you want to go.
Ooh,
I think just, oh, sorry, yeah, 10 seconds, right? Trust. I would have trusted that a lot sooner. I think it's very important to just, if you're doing life with someone that you trust, then that trust should extend to your finances. If you are doing life with someone that you trust, that trust should not be, oh, I trust that you go out and come back at 5 p.m., right? The trust should extend to your finances, right? I think, yeah, so that's something that would have happened a lot sooner. That's all that
I think I would have paid more attention to the impact that the financial decision was going to make. And if I could just do it all over from the beginning, I think I would have communicated with you more about any emotions that were tied to
Or driving decisions.
driving a decision, because then we would have been able to then together decide to do something or not do something instead of me being like, let's just do it.
All right, so thank you both so much. I mean, thank you all. I meant you both coming to the panel. But thank you guys for doing this. It's been fun. Any extra questions we might funnel to you guys privately. Otherwise, back to the homeroom from here, and we will see you in the workshops next. Bye, everyone.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.